Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Before we start with the practice questions for the day, a quick gentle reminder. As part of our Target Prelims 2023, today's session would be Indian polity. Please do tune in live on our YouTube channel from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. so that you understand all important current affairs topics with respect to polity that have been in news for the past 365 days. So this session will be handled by Sarmad Mehraj sir. Let's get started and look into the first practice question. The 8 core industries comprise 40.27% of the weight of the items included in the index of industrial production. Which of the following are among those 8 core industries? Coal, refinery products, cement, textiles, electricity. The answer to this is 1, 2, 3 and 5 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference to index of 8 core industries, which is why we have taken this practice question. So the first question that we need to answer is which are these 8 core industries? First, what we have is coal, followed by crude oil. So crude oil happens to be the second. Third happens to be the natural gas. Natural gas happens to be the third one, followed by refinery products. Then what we have is the fertilizers. Then what we have is steel, cement and electricity. Is textile part of the core industries? No, since textiles is not part of the core industry. The answer to this would be 1, 2, 3 and 5 only. So remember, what we have is 8 core industries. How do you remember it? We have a code. The code for it is ferns C3. What is this fern C3? F here stands for the fertilizers, E here stands for electricity, R here stands for refinery products, N here stands for the natural gas, S here stands for steel, C3 stands for coal, crude oil as well as cement. So if you remember this code, then you will remember the 8 core industries. Why is it called as the core industry? That is because these industries are very important and play a significant impact in the economy. They change the general economic activities and they form the part of the core industrial activities as well. Since they are integrated to many other sectors as well, that is why they are called as the 8 core industries. So this will have an interlink. They will impact the major economic sector as well, and as a result they are called as the 8 core industries. So the index of 8 core industries refers to the production volume index that measures the collective and individual performance of 8 selected core industries. So what is this index of industrial production? This is what will measure the changes in the volume of production of the industrial products during a particular period of time. So this is compiled and published monthly by the Central Statistical Organization, which belongs to the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. What is the significance of index of industrial production? We have number of departments, ministries as well as companies as well. They make use of this index of industrial production to basically bring about policy changes. We have the Ministry of Finance, we have the Reserve Bank of India. On the basis of the index of industrial production, they bring massive changes when it comes to the policy making. IAP also is used for calculation of advanced GDP, so on and so forth. This happens to be the significant factor when it comes to the index of industrial production. As part of the assignment, you have to put on the comment section which has the highest weightage amongst the 8 core industries. Which has the highest weightage is what you have to put on the comment section. Now let's look into the next practice question. With respect to National Manufacturing Innovation Survey, which of the following statements are correct? It is a study by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade and the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. The objective of the survey is to evaluate the innovation performance of manufacturing firms in India. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 2 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the PIB makes a reference to National Manufacturing Innovation Survey. Let us try and understand what are these statements. When you look into the first statement is wrong. Why? That is because it is not the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, but instead it happens to be the Department of Science and Technology. So the first part is wrong. Second statement is right. That is, we have the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. This is right. And the objective of the survey is to evaluate innovation performance of manufacturing firms in India. So basically, what they will look into is two important factors. One is the firm level survey, the other is the sectorial survey. When it comes to the firm, which are the companies which are part of this innovation process? So each company's analysis and survey would be taken, and at the same time what they will also look at is the broader sectoral survey as well. Let's say, for example, we have the textile sector, we have the food and the beverage sector, the automotive sector, pharma sector, ICT sector. So these are the different sectors that we have. So on one side, company surveys will be done. On the other side, sector survey will be done. On the basis of these surveys, whether innovation has happened in the firm or with respect to the sector will be taken up, and ultimately the same will be notified to the stakeholders as well as to the government. So basically, we would be getting a clear-cut picture as to what are the lacunae areas where we are advancing, so that knowledge sharing can also be done as well. So the areas which requires improvement on the manufacture front will be identified, and the same will be given to the firms as well as to the stakeholders on the sectoral level. That is what is National Manufacturing Innovation Survey. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following are the warm ocean currents in Atlantic Ocean? Angola current, Antilles current, Brazil current, Florida current, South Atlantic current. The answer to this is 1, 2 and 4 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article speaks about the temperature increase on the oceanic front, warm waters as well, and at the same time, when there is warm water, it obviously moves throughout the world because of the oceanic currents. So when it comes to the oceanic currents, we know for the fact that what we have is the cold current. We also have the warm current as well. So when we speak about oceanic currents, the warm and the cold current, this question is in specific reference to the Atlantic Ocean. So in the Atlantic Ocean, the Angola current is warm, Antilles current is warm, then the Caribbean current is warm, Florida current and North Atlantic current are the warm current. But rest of it, the Benguela current, the Brazil current, the Cape Horn current, the Falkland current and South Atlantic current are cold currents. Since the question is asking for the warm ocean current, the answer to this would be 1, 2 and 4. Now let's look into the next practice question. Which of the following statements are correct with respect to gum arabic? Gum arabic, the trees are native of North Africa and grow mainly in the sub-Saharan or Sahel zone of Africa. It is soluble in water, edible and used primarily in the food industry and soft drink industry as a stabilizer. Sudan dominates the world gum trade with a market share of about 60%. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 1, 2 and 3. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article on the Indian Express makes a reference to gum arabic, which is why we have taken this practice question. When we speak about gum arabic, this happens to be a natural gum that is exuded by various species of acacia. The trees are native of North Africa and grow mainly in the sub-Sahara or the Sahel zone of Africa. So the first statement, which reads that is mainly grown in sub-Sahara or Sahel zone of Africa, is the right statement. When you look into the second statement, it is soluble in water, edible and used primarily in the food industry and the soft drink industry. Yes, this statement is right. When we speak about the food industries, they are used in confectionaries. Why? So that it can prevent crystallization of the sugar. It is used in dairy products. Why? So that it is acting as a stabilizer in the frozen products. It is used in bakery products. For what? It is used for increasing the viscosity and adhesive properties, and at the same time it is also acting as a flavor emulsifier, used as emulsifier and protective colloid. solid. It is also used in pharmaceutical industry as well. It is used as a stabilizer, it is used as a binder, it is used as a mucilage, it is used as an emollient and demulcent as well. So these emollient and demulcent is used in the cough drops and the syrups. It is also used in the cosmetic industry as well. Let's say for example in the lotions and the protective creams, it is used to give the smooth feel. In the facial mask, it is used as an adhesive. Face powders, it is used as an adhesive, and these are some of the applications of gum arabic. Sudan dominates the world gum trade with a market share of about 60%. Yes, this statement is also right. So all the three statements are right. So the answer to this would be 1, 2 and 3. Now let's look into the next practice question. The term prisoner's dilemma is associated with which one of the following? A technique in glass manufacture, a term used in shipping industry, a situation under the game theory, name of a supercomputer. The answer to this is a situation under the game theory. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2008. So what is this prisoner's dilemma? This happens to be an example of a game that is usually analyzed in the game theory. Basically, it shows that there are two completely rational individuals. They might not cooperate with each other even if it so appears that it is in their best interest. So if they cooperate, they would be able to solve it. But despite they knowing that they would not be able to cooperate, which is what is called as prisoner's dilemma. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is insider trading. Let us try and understand what is this concept of insider trading that happens in the stock market. Before that, let me give you what happened in this article. Most of us would be asking for suggestions from different telegram groups, WhatsApp, so on and so forth. What exactly happens of late? Most of us start investing in the stock market. So you would not have an idea about the stock market, or you want to make some quick money as well. So what do? You would have the so-called expert. You would ask this expert. Initially he may give you some of the suggestions. It may have worked as well. So what do? He creates a telegram channel. So this telegram channel will give you a constant feed of the stock that you have to buy. So it might work for the first time, second time, third time, so on and so forth. You will also influence other section of the people that you know, and there are large number of people who become part of this telegram group. So what does this person who's created this telegram group do? He initially will ensure that he brings you into the comfort zone. Once that is done, this person will start buying the shares of that company, and eventually he'll ask you to buy as well. When massive number of people start buying the shares of a particular company which he has suggested, he would sell his shares, earn the profit, and immediately move out of that particular company share. This is what is happening in the present situation, where about three individuals were guiding, helping people to invest in the stock market. They did give suggestions as well, and over a period of time people started investing in a particular company. They made huge amount of profit, and they immediately withdraw from that particular share. So this is what has happened in the present situation. Another linked concept in the stock market is what is called as the insider trading. What is this insider trading? Let me give you an example. Let's say for example there is a company. Let's assume for hypothetically that it is Infosys. It can also be the Tata Motors as well, or it can also be Reliance as well, or it can also be HCL, any company for that matter. So what exactly happens? You will have two individuals. One happens to be from the government front, the other happens to be the private front, that is the person who is present in that particular company. So what would happen? Insider trading basically means that let's say there is a government official who knows what are the rules and regulations, or what are the policy initiatives that the government is planning to come up with. So the government may come up with a proposal that we are planning to liberalize the sugar. As a result, sugar exports will also start increasing from the very next day. So what is this person who is within the government, a government official, will do? He will buy the shares of sugars. So what will he do? He will buy the shares of all, let's say, some of the products which are related to food and sugar industry. So he knows the information because he's privileged to the conversation. So in fact he happens to buy the share because he gets the information, is what is called as insider trading. So a person who knows the information internally, but this information is not open in the public domain. Because he has that privileged information, he buys the stock of that information, or he gives it to the near and dear ones, which is called as insider trading. So that information which is not in public, but it is known only to that person, and that person buying or selling that particular share is insider trading. Or let's say, for example, when it comes to a private company, a person who is in the higher echelon, he happens to be in the higher management, might know that there is merger of two companies that is taking over, or Reliance is buying one of the companies, or some of the companies may also go bankrupt, so on and so forth, or that company will be buying back the shares. This is some idea. So this private person in this case may also buy the shares as well, because he has this privileged information. So this concept is what is called as insider trading, which is also related to stock market. As a note of caution, be cautious that there are large number of people who create these telegram groups, so on and so forth. Don't believe them. If you want to invest, do your own research, do your studies, and ultimately, depending on the information that is out in the public domain, do invest, and do not follow all these people who give you these so-called tips or the suggestions. It is this that we have to understand with respect to this topic. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.